Time to refurb this little baby. Welcome back down the bar. Today's little job, we'll be taking apart this pump, put some new seals in it, getting it all clean. I'll be going through that with you. I did this one a few months back. I'm going to do this one. Hand pull pump, beer pump, or beer engine. That's what they're called. Works like on the suction, so we'll have a little look. Open it up and we'll have a look how they work inside. Works obviously differently to the lager pumps with the gas and that. Just literally sucks it through. But if you get one of these second hand, you really do need to take them apart, give them a clean. I've read a lot of posts lately where people are buying these, connecting them up with a line, like a beer line, to their beer in the fridge or whatever, beer in a bag. If you see my other video, you see that I've done that myself. But you really do need to take these apart and clean them. You do get a lot of old beer and ale inside the cylinders, and the seals are knackered. You really, if you get hold of one of these, you really do need to clean them out. Yeah, don't just connect them up and use them straight off the cuff. Might make yourself a bit ill. So let's take it off, undo it. So we start by undoing the two clips underneath, and we'll pull it off. Drip tray out, obviously we've got a drip tray. Undo the two bolts. Let's take it apart and have a look. So the first thing to do when you get your pump, check it all over. Now I've already taken the innards out of this, which I hadn't realised, so I've already stripped it back to bare. This is the Mason's pump. And you can buy spares from Mason's, or you can buy spares, I think it's from a company called RLBS Limited. I'll put some links, or I'll put some photographs up on the screen in the video. So the first thing to do is take this plate off. Take this cover off, see what you got underneath. This is the easy bit. Under the screws there, flip it over. Under these two screws. Get this cover off. And when you take the cover off, the drip tray part is attached to that. That comes off as well. So that's it. Get this off. Go and take that for a clean. Give that a good clean up. Need some drip trays. eBay, Amazon. Plenty of companies sell drip trays. They're standard size. Just sitting there. You want nice, clean, new drip trays. So I'll take that cover off, put it out of the way. I've already taken this apart, so I can show you from the inside how it works. What I'll do, I'll go for a few bits and pieces, and I'll show you what you got. There's the cylinder. That's the main cylinder there. Now, you either get a bare metal cylinder, or you'll get one with a plastic jacket. The plastic jacket, I think, is for cooling, liquid cooling. The other pump I've got over there has two covers over that, but I don't think you need it. It's just stop bugs and that getting it, but it doesn't get into the beer. But you can get some John Guest push fit from Wickes or wherever and put by the top there. So I can tell that's from Mason because it's got that sticker on it where it's been refurbished. And serial number, Harry Mason Limited, Birmingham, England. December 2010. I've already taken that in the side, put that in a bowl of soapy water, scrub that right out, clean. What I haven't done, and I didn't realise, I did for the other pump, is I haven't bought a seal kit for this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through a few parts and put it back together so you can see what you need for yours. So that's the inside. Now when you get the seal kit, what you get is these seals, the O-rings, which are there and there, this plate, this rubber seal here and this plate here. I'll show you the one I took out from the other pump, if I can find it. Yeah, there's the bits I took out of the other pump. They're slightly smaller, so I think that's a quarter pinter. That's a half pinter. So you'll get a different size, when you buy these, you'll get a different size cylinder. A half pinter means you pull 2 halves for a pint, obviously. Quarter pinter, 4 for a pint, 4 pulls. Depends what comes for the price, depends what you buy. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. Let's put that to one side. So what you'll get is a cylinder, This will all be bolted together. That will be in there, and that will be in there like that. And you'll see that it's got the holes there. And how that works, you have a small piece of hose there to your nozzle, which is bolted there. So that is basically like that, the swan neck, yeah? So that's like that. Ignore these two. So if you ignore these two, your beer is coming in. Your beer is coming in from underneath here with this. Now I think I bought that separately new. I'll measure these parts up in a minute with a vernier and then see what size they are, so you can go and buy some. And that comes with it. And I think in the kit you get a replacement seal at the bottom there. What happens is that goes in there. Let's push fit with an O-ring, and the beer comes out there. So what it does, it sucks the beer in there like that. So when you pull the handle, the beer comes in through there into the cylinder, and it sucks it up through there into the cylinder and out the top into your nozzle or your neck, what do you want to call it. That is bolted on there. Sorry, that is bolted on there like that. I'm not going to do a full refurb and refit with this today, which I thought I was going to, because I realised I haven't got a seal kit for this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through a few bits. So that fits into there, that fits into the back end and closes down. There's a bit of a, you need a hammer on that to knock that in. So get that in there square. Actually, no reason why it won't work. Just so you know, let's get the vernier out. Right, so this cylinder, the internal diameter is measuring 66.8 on that vernier scale, 66.8. In actual fact, if you're good at maths, you could work it out, couldn't you, how much it is? It's 150 mil height. So it's 66.8, 150 mil height. So the seal kit for this particular one you want will be 66.8. Yeah, 6607. Whereas the other type, my other one up there, which is the quarter pinter, which is smaller. This seal, 51 mil on the vernier there. So that's 66, right. Right, let's see if I can reassemble this. So that's that's up that way. That's underneath. That pushes in there. Ah, you bugger. Oh, that is a bitch. Right, I'll get a small hammer. A small hammer on that. Right, little hammer, that does the job. That's not going to leak. That's the bottom. Now we put the top on. That goes in like that. Now don't forget, again I haven't bought the kit, so I apologise. What I hadn't. But looking at it now, it doesn't look too bad. It's all been cleaned out anyway. But when you do get the kit, from that particular kit, the kits I've been buying, or the kit I've been buying, has been from Masons, UK company in Birmingham. And it's got instructions there how to replace the seals and which order to put them in. So you just need to know whether you've got a quarter pint pump, hand beer, pull, pump, or have you got a half pint. So a quarter pint and a half, you get all the parts with it. Excuse me. Well, hang on, look, I've got... Right. I'm lost now. I've got half pint energised seal kit, quarter pint energised seal kit. So I did think I thought I bought two. I thought I bought two seal kits. Might have to do this video tomorrow. It's not going down too well. While I'm here, let me just show you a few bits you can buy. That's for the car scales. If you're going to ever do a car scale. There's some other videos on that. That you literally hit into the end of your barrel, your cask, and then you need these little wooden pegs which you hit in the top, which to allow them to breathe. But I've not gone down that road yet. I'm not going to bother, I don't think. The attachment on the end, that goes onto the end there. Like that. I'm not 100% sure what thread that is, but I could give you, I think ILBS, or I'll put some links in the thing. I think ILBS or Masons will list that or set it with that kit. But if I can give you the measurement of that thread, then you might be able to work out what it is. So the OD of that is 29.73, so it's quite a coarse thread, so I'm assuming that's some sort of pipe thread. And the end of that, if you need to know, which you probably will, the end of that spigot is 12.8. 12.8, yeah. That's that. So that's been nicely cleaned out, as I said earlier. Once you put your seal kit and seals back on, O-rings back on, that simply pushes into there, and that should tap into there. Looks like it's another hammer job. This is what makes me think I've replaced these seals already, because I'm having to hammer that in. So that's hammered in there, that's nice and snug. Cylinder's been cleaned. This has all been cleaned. New seals on the end. And that's our cylinder. I can feel a bit of suction on there. So basically, beer in that end, like so. That goes on there. The pipe work I've been using for that, I'll just go and check the other pipe, the other pump, and see what pipe work I've been using, what size. Oh, hang on, let me grab it. The pipe work I've been using for that is this. That slides on like that, and then you put a Jubilee clip, which is swan Jubilee clip. So you'll need a Jubilee clip like that, fitted over the top and tightened up. So this pipe work, let's get it off. Just so you know, it says on the side, let's have a look at the size of it. So it's this is Valpar 12.5 ID, which is the internal diameter, 18.5 OD. It's a little bit stiff, it's cold at the moment. So it's 12.5 ID, which is the internal diameter. So if I measure that inside there with a caliper, it's 12. Well, maybe 13, 12.8. Yeah, that's perfect for that. That fits on there with a Jubilee clip. So that Jubilee clip onto that. That's the setup you've got there. Okay. Put that away for one side at the moment. Let's put the hammer away. No more hammering. Well, let's just tuck that out of the way. Now, you can see this. We're getting close. There's a pin there, 2 split pins, and a pin there. So you take the split pins out, or it might be another method on yours. You take the split pins out, that goes through your cylinder, and then the bracket, the clamp, which is clamped around the cylinder at the base, that sits on there. So let's bolt that up now. So you back these screws off. These ones are they're grub screws. These ones, they've got an Allen key fitting on the end. You back them off. Table's a bit small, really. Right. Take that off. Don't need that on there for now. Get that out of the way. We'll put that on later on. I do believe that fits on there. So you clamp that, on the outside. That sits over the top like that, okay? Nip that up. Hold that, nip that up. And the other side. But leave it a bit loose for now. This is the fiddly bit. So the neck, your swan neck, needs to connect to that. And this piece here, that needs to go on that pin there. So what I'll do, I'll fiddle about now and do that, and then I'll show you assembled. So it's handy to have the pump handle in its downward position like that, and then you can get this pin. I've taken a split pin out there. If you have a look, you can get this pin. You can access that in and out there. Obviously, if it's like that, you can't get it out. So have a handle like that. Take that out. So absolutely gutted. I've repaired the other one. Stupidly, I'm trying to move. It's such a tight fit with these seals and they're so brittle. I'm trying to move that round. Get this to the front. I jammed the screw, stupidly jammed the screwdriver in there. Tried to turn it and it's broke the bloody nozzle off, look. So don't copy my video to do it. This needs to come off. Oh. I'll check the other pump. That needs to go there. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to do this video. I'm not even going to do it, I've got the That needs to sit on top as well. I've fucking got the now, I'm packing away. Let me get this out of the way. Now I've brought a bucket now. It's fucking going. I've got a fucking hump. I I'll just put this back on display, shall I? I just looked on the internet, the cylinders are 70 quid. Oh, fuck's sake. I'm having a fucking shit day. And there's a spider there as well. Oh, it couldn't get any fucking worse. Throw it all in there. So, despite that mishap, on the end of your swan neck attaches a piece of pipe. That attaches to your cylinder, which I just bloody broke. On both pumps, I'm keeping this piece of pipe because it's flexible. The stuff you buy, the new stuff, is too stiff. So keep that bit of pipe rather. Jubilee clips here. I think the sizes of them 12 to 20 and 10 to 16. So basically, 12 to 20 looks like your better bet. The 12 to 21 there looks like your better bet for this pipe work. A couple of other things I wanted to mention. Where's that cylinder gone? You can cap these off if you want with some John Guest push fittings. Doesn't really matter. Just keeps it nice and tidy. Via-top connector. If you've ever heard of that before, a via-top connector, it's one of those. Now I've not used these because the guys that I buy my beer off of, they just have a normal tap. So what I do, I use a piece of pipe I showed you earlier, off my non-return valve onto the tap, and I put a Jubilee clip on it. It's a bit awkward, but if you watch one of my other videos you'll see it. So what you have to do is turn the tap and it starts leaking, nip the Jubilee clip out, turn it again, nip it up, turn it again, nip it up. It would be easy if they use these. How these work is you undo this. I don't know if you can see that. You undo that. That clips on top of the tap. They've got the little push fitting ones. You shut that up. It's black, so you might be saying. Then you turn that down. It locks on, which opens the tap up. Then you just connect to this. If you go down that route, let me give you a measurement of that with a vernier while I'm here. I mean, I should be packing away with the ump really, but right, it's 10.5. So it's 10.5 on the end there. So, but I've not used that yet because it depends on the beer in a bag. If you buy a beer in a bag, it depends on the beer in a bag that you buy. It depends on what you buy. So yeah, I broke that. So I'm going to go on Harry Mason's or RLBS, whatever it's called. I'll put some links and photographs. I will publish this video because it's all part of it, isn't it? I'm going to see if I can get another one of these just on its own. They do spares. Lots of little different spares. I just looked, the whole cylinder with the whole lot is 70 quid, but don't tell the missus, might have to lay out for the whole. I must admit, if you get the whole cylinder, you got the whole, it's all sealed ready to go, and it'll work lovely, you know, make it brand new. I'm tempted to put the cylinder for the other pump because I use the pump on the left more. I'm tempted to put the cylinder from the other pump onto this pump. I'm not really going to use this pump to be honest with you, but and then if I get a new cylinder, I'll put that on that pump. That'll be lovely then. I've just noticed that one has, although I replaced the seals on that, I've just noticed on that started leaking a little bit. So that's the via-top connector, that's the pipe work, that's the cylinder, that's a broken cylinder, the pump's on the floor, my bucket of bits are broken, and that's, right, while I'm here, I'm so kind, I'm going to throw that in the bin. Some other bits you can buy, this is the easy bit. Don't do what I do, don't do what I did, that's brittle, yeah? So they can break, so that's a lesson for you. You can buy these off the internet. They come with screws. Little clip, they're for your badges, or clips or pump clips, whatever they call them. That clips on around the handle. And then that's a bit of self-adhesive tape there. Peel that off, stick your badge on there. Mighty Oak Brewery in Malden, I use in Essex. I popped in there to pick a box of beer up a while ago, and they had a big box of little clips. Let me go and show you actually. Yeah, so the brewery I use and the brewery you use, they might do some badges or some pump clips, whatever you want to call them. So they just stick on. They stick on the back there. I think the one I've got up there actually I've used blue tack, so I can just take them on and off, and that just clamps on your thing. But I think they sold them in the shop. Some of the beers I use, I actually buy and I use. I think they had a big. I thought, not a collector's item, but I thought I'd buy a few just for a bit of a laugh. But I think it was for 20p each or something for went to charity. So discontinued drinks that they do. Buster Keaton Mighty Oak Brewery, Essex. Jester's Gold. Mighty Oak. I promote these guys, so Oscar Wilde. I think they do the Oscar Wilde. I promote these beers so much. I'm surprised they've not sent me a free 18 pinter beer in a bag. When you've refurbed your beer engine with seals, or you might not need a new seal kit. You might just need to take it apart, clean it, and put it back together again. But that, believe me, the cylinder was really, really, really filthy. So just soak everything in hot soapy water, give it a good clean out before you use it. One other thing I wanted to show you, well, a couple of things actually. So they didn't come in my pumps, but you can get these little, I think nozzles called sprinklers. I think Southerners and Northerners have different types. It's something to do with the holes. I think you get a different colour, but it's something to do with the holes in the end. It gives it a different size head, I think. I think the Northern people like a big head like that. Us Southerners, we like to drink more, you know. We can outdrink the Northerners, so we like more drink and less head. One other thing, when you got your pipe running from your beer cylinder or beer engine to your beer in a bag, you can run it, 3 options. You can run it straight through, which is fine because the beer in a bag I think only lasts a couple of weeks. You pull it through the pump and any beer left in the pipe or the cylinder will or can run back if you've got the bag lower in the fridge, because you can have it higher, but if you've got it lower, it could run back down, which is fine because it's not going to be really bad because it's not that old, because you'll be drinking it within 2 weeks. It lasts 2 weeks and you really got 18 pint or whatever you get, 20 odd pinter. The beer that runs back won't be sort of that out of date anyway, will it? So that's just a clean line. Next option, you get a small non-return valve. I'll send you a link. I'll put a link on the description below, and a photograph on the video. Excuse me. The non-return valve is just a straight inline non-return valve. They're about 14, 15 pounds. Or the next option is this thing, which I think is called, I've got this one from RLBS. I've got 2 of these. These are about 15 pounds themselves. I think it's called a check valve. What's this called? It did say it on here somewhere, I thought I had the bag for that. That's a non-return and a check valve or something. And if you go onto, I think it's RLBS, they sell these, but I think in the bottom left of the website they offer you one of these to go in as well. You'll need that as well, because the line for your pump, let's suppose that's your, let's grab the pipe, hang on. So from your beer engine cylinder, is that right? Let me get this right. For the beer engine cylinder, that goes onto that there. So you buy that, but you'll also need to buy this little speed fitting that fits inside a spigot for this pipe. Then that goes onto the cylinder. The other side there goes to your beer in a bag. This is a non-return valve. It's also, I think they call it a check valve. It's like an on-demand valve. So with a clear line, or even with a non-return valve, the beer will only flow through. The beer will flow through, rather, even if you're not pulling it. So for instance, if you had gas or some expanding the bag, or something was expanding, or gas was building up in whatever container you got your beer in, or you had it up higher because somebody had it in a fridge up on the shelf, the beer can run down the pipe, as I do believe, I'm no expert, but the beer can run down through the pipe into the cylinder. With this, it's an on-demand. This is an on-demand valve. With this, it will only bring beer through when you actually pull it through. So it only lets beer through when you suck it through. So not only is it a non-return valve, so it won't let the beer back into your beer in a bag and down the line, it also will only bring beer through it when you pull the pump, your beer handle. So for 15 quid, you've got an option, I'd say nothing at all, or one of these. And let me just give you the size of that as well. So the size of this top, which is the size of the other end, it's 13mm. what was the cylinder? Let's grab the cylinder here. I haven't got the end of it, hang on. Want the fitting, don't we? Let's grab this fitting out of the bucket. So you got that on the end of your beer cylinder. That's on there. So that should be about 13mm as well. Yeah, 12.8. So that's pretty much the same. So that and that are pretty much the same size, for the same size pipe. And I think then I go down to a smaller pipe, I'm not 100% sure. So that's 13.2, whatever. So that there, just so you know, if you're going to go out and go shopping, that's, yeah, oh, that's 13. So pretty much the same then. Let's get that pipe so that fits on then. Yeah, so the light, that goes on the end as well. And this is the pipe I showed you earlier. This is 12.5 ID, 18.5 OD. So 12.5 ID. So if you get some 12.5 internal diameter pipe work, it needs to be the hygiene stuff for foods and stuff like that. So if you're going down the route I've gone down, that, and it's 12.5. Now what as I said, what I do, that connects onto the tap of the beer, just about. I have to really squash that down with a Jubilee clip, but it does work. That's my setup. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to rebuild this and put it back on display, really. I might buy a new cylinder in the summer, I'm not sure. I mean, I've got one working. I don't really need two. I don't have two beers on, to be quite honest with you. And that's taught you a lesson, lads, or girls and lads and lasses, hasn't it? Don't try and move. These are brittle. Don't try and move it with a bloody screwdriver like that. Take it out. Don't try and move it with a screwdriver like that. Take it out. Move it around. I thought it was a bit tight. Right. Pick me rubbish up the floor. So that's it, people. Fitting it back together is the same as taking it apart, basically. I'll put some photographs up of the stuff that I've been using, the sites I've been using. I think it's mainly Masons, Harry Masons I think they're called. And that's on here. Yeah, Masons and RLBS. And I'll put some links in the description below. RLBS. They all do spares, bits and pieces. But yeah, you only need one, in my opinion, you could probably want one beer handle up and running. The other one's just for display really, but I'm a bit gutted about that. So there you go, you've learned from my mistakes really, haven't you? Don't bugger your one up like I just did. Alright, if you enjoyed that video, watch me break me beer pump. I'll pack away now and go and edit this video, put it up and see what stupid comments I get, eh? Right. I mainly did this video just to warn people, when you get one of these beer engines, beer pumps, give them a clean out, give the cylinder a clean out, or pull some beer cleaner through it, line cleaner. But yeah, so I've noticed the other days where you can get new handles for these. You can take this off, get these new handles. There's not the old fashioned with the race and the hounds, the Fox and Hounds race one I might get. And so you can get these badges. But I mean, I got mine quite cheap. But if you go on RLBS or Masons, they do the complete pumps. They do complete sets. So you might be worth getting a complete set as opposed to a second-hand one. 150 quid I think for the whole lot. But I must admit this, I got these bargain, I think that's £45 for two. And the wood there, the quality of this is lovely. It's all brass fittings around the back. Just the cylinder's a bit old, that's all. I suppose it's brittle plastic, it's not my fault, it's brittle plastic. These things happen, I suppose. Right, I'm going to edit this video now and I'm going to go and sulk. One other thing to mention before I go, what I do, you get these little, you can buy these little packets of hop filters. There you go. Because you're using sort of like real ales and that, the hop filter, what I do, Let me find a piece where that mounts on the cylinder. Well, that goes on the cylinder like that. That goes onto the cylinder like that, and that goes into your cylinder. This is the line from your non-return valve, or your check valve, or whatever it's called. I just drop one of these little things in there. Oh, sorry, like that. Just pop one of them in like that. I think they're for the other end. I think they're for the casks, a real loud cask of beer. But I just pop one in there, and that does fit. It does just fit inside there. Look, just stop some crud and rubbish getting through. You don't want the guys down your bar, girls and guys down your bar, complain of bits in their beer, do you? You'll sound like yourself down the pub. Oh, there's something in my beer. They love a moan, these people, now having free beer, don't they? Right, I hope you've enjoyed that video. I can't say I have, but there you go. Just gives you a little idea of the innards and insides and outsides of one of these pumps and how they work, I suppose. Not happy. That's all for now then, people. I'll see you later. Thank you. Cheers for watching.